So what's the deal, man? Tell me a little about yourself. What's your name?
My name is Mercury. Producer, rap. Correct.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about that. You're a producer, you're a rapper, you're from where?
From New Orleans, grew up in Mid City. Back and forth in Mid City on East. Uptown, my grandmother. Stayed off Chocolate Cheese for a lot of time. Pretty much like uptown in the East. I grew up.
When you start producing, you produce hip hop music, correct?
Yeah, I produce hip hop, some R&B, club music, whatever their opinion, if I do it, no homo.
So, where you, like, how did you start doing hip hop music?
Fuck, I remember I was like about 14, 15. My mother had, again, my mother was sitting in the room and I had like this fucking crazy ass idea. I was like, man, I want to do music. And I fucking went up in the room. I was like, Mom, I finally figured out what I want to do. She's like, what? I said, I'm going to be a fucking producer. She's like, well, just save up your money and get some equipment. All that shit parents tell to work equipment. And I fucking, I just couldn't do that, of course, with the fucking equipment. So I started rapping, you know what I'm saying? Write poetry, whatever like that. And I started writing rhymes and shit like that. And the production came later on. I say like at the end of my senior year, best friend of mine or whatever, he does music from San Jose, you know what I'm saying? And I told him he was doing beats. And I was like, fuck, I want to do some beats too, you know what I'm saying? So, and it was like, well, come by the crib. So I came by the crib, we had like a little Casio, Yamaha, basic shit back then. And I'm like, fucking right, I'm ready to jump into this shit, start doing beats. This nigga sit me in front of the motherfucking keyboard with the radio on. Like, man, this nigga bogus as hell, man. He like, yeah, man, pick up the melody lines or whatever like that. He said, you start that. He said, you can catch the key from the radio, you be alright. So I did that shit for like 6 months. Then I went off to school for a semester, came back home, that shit wasn't popping. Took off a semester, went tried to go back to school. Was like, fuck that shit, you know what I'm saying? All this time I'm honing my skills, of course, you know what I'm saying? I was doing like all original beats, and then like I want to say about the end of 2000 is when I really got into like sample, like doing like sample-based production. But the good thing about starting out the way I did was I knew how to create from scratch, so it only intensified the beats when I started, you know what I'm saying, the sampling, because it was, I was able to layer the songs, and I knew how to take out parts of the sample, and it just really like made me a better producer overall. So, like I said, in the 2000, you know what I'm saying, I'm into it and taking it seriously. Start working for the sheriff's department. I'm a thorough nigga, real in every way. So of course I didn't stay that too long.
Everybody got two nice women coming over here, so make them on the sofa.
This nigga right here talking about
they get in the parking lot.
For sure.
Yeah, no problem.
So, you know, working at the sheriff's department wasn't really feeling that whole shit, grow as a person, grow as a man, certain shit you can't rock with. So I left my homeboy, Lyric Hill, like, started a magazine called Hip Hop Live. We was doing that shit. It was going pretty smooth. And kind of like, we still doing the music, but not really pushing it at the time, but I was still like doing the beats. I kind of fell back on the rhymes, but was just concentrating on doing production or whatever like that. And did the magazine, it didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? We learned, it was successful in a lot of ways, but not necessarily successful in atypical ways, you know what I'm saying? So I just went back to the drawing board with the music, doing the beats and shit like that. And been really popping with that ever since. Do the rapping, but like, you know what I'm saying, really focused on production. That's my main stuff.
For sure. Tell me a little bit about Hurricane Katrina. You want to just pause this?
Yeah.
Pause.
I got it. Like you so fast.
Cause I hadn't switched batteries as long as we had this camera. We had this camera before the storm.
Got that charge.
You know what I'm saying? It's probably just the time to switch.
I need that bread, but I don't need that time.
That's what it is.
It's the battery.
It's just not as strong as it used to be.
You say 60 minutes, you know?
Well, based off the
Yeah,
power
so
source.
maybe the damn